A franchise can fail for a number of reasons. Sometimes it was doomed from the start, only to be shoved to the side when the obvious bad idea just didn't pan out. Other times it can take large costs going into a poorly received product to put the nail in a franchise's coffin. Sometimes you can be Bubsy and just kind of fail upwards constantly, so maybe trying to figure out the logic on what makes a series die is irrelevant in the face of what I can only assume to be God at this point. In a way, I feel like Marvel Vs Capcom and Mega Man are kindred spirits, both abandoned by two different companies for opposing reasons. MVC was, for a time, abandoned by Marvel after Infinite failed to perform, leaving Capcom in a bad spot having to promote a game that wasn't destined for a future in the first place. Meanwhile, Mega Man was abandoned after being too much of a cash cow. Capcom just made sub-series after sub-series to the point they just begin to tangle into each other, specifically X and ZX. Combine that with the failure of X7 and, whatever Battle Network was, and Capcom made the choice to leave the Blue Bomber in the wind, before randomly throwing out Mega Man 11 and returning him to the ether. Both franchises, in a way, were left to the fans. Now, here's where I admit that I'm not a big Mega Man fan. I enjoy what I play, but platformers aren't my thing unless your name is Sonic, so Mega Man has never really stuck the landing for me personally. My point is that I don't know how Mega Man fans coped with the loss of Mega Man before 11, but what I do know is how MVC fans coped, with things like Community Edition. And with half of Marvel vs. Capcom obviously being Capcom, it's no wonder a few Mega Man characters would worm their way into the mod. Let's start today off with... X is a sentient machine in the far future, known as a Reploid. X is the first of his kind, and the last creation of series mentor figure Dr. Light. Designed to think freely on his own, X was used as the blueprint for his entire species. We first see X as a mid-rank maverick hunter, tracking down rogue Reploids who have turned against humanity. His leader, Sigma, which I promise had different connotations in 1993, has gone maverick. Eager to help save the world and right the wrongs of his mentor, X works with Zero, the new leader of the Maverick Hunters, to stop Sigma from ending all of mankind. And from there, X and Sigma would be a never-ending battle, as Sigma seeks to constantly destroy everything while X seeks only peace. No, we're not talking about ZX here. Go away. X takes most of his animations, all of his voice lines, and his model from MVCI, where he made his MVC debut. Before we get into special moves, X has a few unique things we have to talk about. First, he has an air dash in both directions. This matches Zero and Sigma, who isn't in Community Edition but was in Infinite. I like the choice to give all the Mega Man X characters an air dash, makes them seem unified. X can change his normals on the fly with Buster, Engage, or Special Weapons Ready, each sharing the same input.
Special Weapons Ready! Buster Engage!
I'll go over each set of normals now, why not? You deserve a bit of a treat, don't you? In Buster mode, X's standing and jumping light and medium buttons are both projectiles. Decent little things for pestering and walling out, but it can even feel a little strange up close. Luckily, all of his crouching normals are regular buttons. In Saber mode, X becomes a semi-clone of Zero in terms of his normals. He gains every Zero normal save for the command normals. None of his special moves change. Notably, Saber mode X lacks the auto super jump that follows a launcher, so if you play with that on like I do, it can take you by surprise. X shares Zero's charge shot mechanic. By pressing and holding any button aside from the special button, X will begin to charge up a powerful projectile that can reach up to 5 levels of strength. In Saber mode, X charges up the flaming uppercut / Ryunjin instead.
Weapons ready!
Doing this is core to his gameplay, and perhaps the biggest learning curve he comes with. All of X's special moves are copy abilities taken from another character on the roster. It took me an embarrassing amount of time to realize that maybe the Mega Man character was doing the Mega Man thing, I'll admit. X's first special move is Copy Hadengeki.
First attack!
It's a large but slow sword beam, decent for just putting something on screen. This is taken from Zero. His next special is Copy, Mighty Spark.
First attack! Yes!
It's a big blast of lightning in a ball. I'd probably say this is his better projectile compared to Haringeki, but we're 2 moves in and I should hold my horses. This move is taken from Thor. Copy, Whirlwind, is a strange little projectile that covers the floor. It looks like it should hit off the ground, but I can't get it to. Lame.
No escape! First attack! No escape! Yes!
Shamelessly stolen from Storm. Copy, Cross Sword X2, is another little guy who I fail to see the purpose of.
Can't dodge them all! First attack! Can't dodge them all!
X makes slashes in the air that go up, then forward, and then return to him. They just don't move far away enough to be a zoning tool. Anti-air, perhaps? His next move is Copy, Crystal.
First attack! Yes! Full charge!
This sends a barrage of ice spikes in front of X, and has an alternate form called Million Carrots if the medium button is pressed again during the startup. This hits OTG, and is taken from Dante in its entirety. Between this and Carnage's standing heavy, Dante should start charging. Copy, Photon Shot, is 3 projectiles sent in various high angles.
First attack! Multi-shot!
Due to these angles, this is strictly an anti-air tool. This is ripped from Dr. Doom. Copy, Flower Vase, is an air-only special.
Maximum! Go! Can't dodge this! First attack! Take him down! Go!
It's a beam that goes up in an arch depending on the button pressed. Between the arches, they're pretty solid anti-airs if you TK them, and they're solid harassment tools. This is another move taken from someone else, this time Phoenix Wright's Turnabout mode. Copy, Scythe Toss, is another air-exclusive projectile, throwing a scythe at various angles. The scythe returns to X instantly when it hits someone. This is ripped from Arthur. Boy, X is some kind of klepto, I'll tell you that much. Copy, Hadouken, is... well, it's Hadouken.
First attack!
A fireball that goes forward at a slow speed with middling reward. This is ripped from Ryu, but I'll cut X some slack here because he stole this from his home series too. Remember kids, it's not stealing if it's a reference. Buster Shot level 4 is his first super.
Full charge! First attack! Maximum!
It's a big projectile that's so fast it'll catch the opponent pressing buttons with ease. It does push X a decent amount away, though. Copy, Magnetic Shockwave, is a riff of Magneto's Magnetic Shockwave.
Full charge! Maximum!
At first I thought it was Zero's Rikoha for a minute, but no, that would make a bit too much sense, wouldn't it? It's a bunch of pillars from the ground that will hit off the ground. They can get a decent combo ender specifically if the opponent is close. I've got to clarify if it's close because X can play at most distances. Copy, Lightning Storm, is a big burst of lightning around X, and a rip from Storm.
You're going nowhere! First attack!
If you can imagine a use case for hers, you can imagine it for him. Or, I guess you can. I don't know, I'm not a Storm player. I'm not an expert in anything, really. His first assist is Million Carrots. It's a decent anti-air, kinda like a Diet Captain Commando. Unfortunately, the Captain is right there, so use that if you want it. His next assist is Buster Shot.
Withdrawing!
It's his light attack twice, followed by his medium. It's as good as an assist as it is on his base kit. It's a nice tool for keeping an opponent at whatever range you want. This is my personal assist of choice. X's last assist is Flower Vase. He tosses too, so I'd call it pretty good. Decent anti-air, nice pestering tool, all that. Just not my thing. X is a character who wants to play in the mid-range, where both Buster Mode and Saber Mode are at their strongest. Luckily, he's pretty good at walling you out with his buster shots until you're exactly where he wants you to be. I can't exactly say that X is a character who can be in any range he wants, mostly because all of his special moves are projectiles. That makes him, well, let's just say he's not a combo monster. As with anything I've ever said, though, take it with a grain of salt and do your own testing. Who knows, maybe you'll have a better finger on his pulse than I do. Shockingly for the Mega Man series, X seems to lack any color references. These are brownie points so easy even Smash got it, but beggars can't be choosers. He does have a few armors in his alternate costumes. Color 7 is his ultimate armor from X4. Color 8 is his Dive Armor X from the mobile game Mega Man X Dive. Color 9 is just a recolor of that. Color 10 is a Dante costume. I initially thought this was just a fun nod put in by a modder, but it's actually another X Dive costume. I was actually going to lambast X for having disappointing colors, but X Dive feels like such a pull I can't help but praise and respect it. It's a shame we couldn't get the Command Mission new armor in here. I've always liked that look.
Special weapons ready! First attack! Air combo! Full charge! Take on this! First attack! Full charge! Take on this! Maximum! So weapons ready! Can't dodge them all! Air combo! Full charge! Just this! Great! Maximum!
The Servbots are a set of 41 support robots designed to do most everything and work under the criminal Tron Bonne. The Servbots don't really have much of an origin to cover here, unfortunately, so to pad up the runtime, I have to just, stare at ya. Y'all, seen anything hopeful on the news? Yeah, me neither. Servbot is a joke. Affectionately, of course. And this joke has one punchline. Small. They are tiny. Base MVC3's smallest character was Rocket, and he stands a head taller than this little dude. This makes Servbot the smallest character we'll ever cover on Community Case File, so I have to go into PSA mode for a moment. Reroute your combos. This may seem obvious, but anything you do to Rocket, do to Servbot. Add sweeps, crop out some normals, whatever. Anyway, Servbot has two things special about them. They can do a glide move by pressing up while in the air. A neat little gimmick that can help us squeeze just a little bit more damage out of an air combo. Servbot joins Venom, Magneto, and whoever else in the I can combo off of my throw club.
First attack! Yes!
Like with anyone else, it's scaled, but any damage is good damage. Servbot's first special move is Lunch Rush.
First attack! Cool!
It sends a wave of other Servbots with lunch trays running along the ground. A nice little projectile for pestering or priming up an anti-air. Next is Kobun Copter. This is probably one of Servbot's best anti-airs, but it's a little high, isn't it? Fun fact, Servbot is called Kobun in Japan. Next up is CaptureBot. It's a nifty little projectile that triggers the same trap state as their grab, allowing for a combo or setup if it hits. Big if, I know. Kobun Fire is their next special. A chargeable projectile with different patterns depending on the button pressed. Light is a pinky little projectile, outclassed in all but speed by Lunch Rush. Medium and heavy are bursts of fire breath at different angles. Heavy, specifically, is probably their best anti-air, if I had to guess. Servbot's next special is Falling Kobun. It's a projectile that makes a Servbot fall at a location dependent on the button pressed. This Servbot will hit OTG, with enough stun to combo into supers if cancelled early. Paper Plane is a joke, plain and simple.
First attack.
It's a slow projectile that does 1000 damage. That's basically 1 damage in MVC3 terms. You will not see a difference in the health bar if this connects. Servbot's supers are all done with the same input, but will change based on the buttons pressed. Light and Medium will give you Lunchtime Rush, an enhanced version of Lunch Rush. Light and Heavy will give you Servbot Swarm. And Medium and Heavy will give you Servbot Airdrop. Which is best? They've all got their uses, which is the coward's way of saying, I don't know. King Kobun is their coolest but also most useless super. Servbot grows massive and can smack you with a giant squeaky hammer that hits OTG. Unfortunately, I wanna say it's impossible to combo into without an assist. Tentatively, of course. Their first assist is Lunch Rush. I like it. Nice little pester tool. Pair it with a character who likes to anti-air and you're doing better than the US economy. Which isn't hard to do, I suppose. Next is Kobun Flame, the heavy version specifically. Clearly meant to fill the role of an anti-air assist, but due to Servbot's size, it's lacking. They're trying their best, okay? And last up is Capture Bot. It's as fun to toy with as it is on Servbot themselves. Probably not very useful, but it's my assist of choice, because I like fun. Servbot is like the MVC equivalent of Dan Hibiki, except Dan is actually in this mod, and he's actually really cool, so I guess I can go fuck myself. Basically, you're worse than your opponent in most every way, which makes it smooth as silk when you win. This? You should never be seeing this. It's basically a war crime, I think. Servbot lacks any references in the color department, to my knowledge. Again, I'm not a Mega Man fan, and the Legends games are older than I am, so maybe I'm missing something here. You know, it's always been weird to me how little Mega Man is in MVC, which in and of itself is weird given that a Mega Man character hasn't missed the roster since MVC 1, basically since the doors opened to non-Street Fighter reps. I guess I perceive Mega Man as being more important to Capcom than it is. In my mind, he's still up there with Sonic, Mario, and Crash as company mascots. I think of Capcom, I think of Mega Man. Well, actually, I think of Street Fighter, then Resident Evil, and then Mega Man. But that's because I have terminal FGC brain. X has always felt natural for MVC, which is why it makes sense that we got him in Infinite. The choice to completely redo his kit from what he had in MVCI is a strange one, but I like what they came up with, and I think it's a suitable replacement. And Servbot is awful, just terrible. But that's the point, that's the joke. Even then, they can get some actual solid damage in. Look, making Servbot good would be killing the joke. Servbot is a legacy character through and through, so they kept them as close to MVC2 as possible. Fair enough, but do TBC roll, please. Let's not carry over what doesn't need to be. And that is the second episode of Community Case File, though you may have noticed a certain American box art shaped exclusion. Don't worry, he's joining us someday in the future. Just you wait. Sorry, I have to do YouTuber things now. Did you know that only 7% of my audience is subscribed? And that less than 0.1 of my audience is considered regular viewers? Well, you can change that by subscribing and watching more and commenting. They say that helps. They said they would let me go if we hit 100 subscribers. Please. And just as I start recording, Sigma's in the work, and so's Vile, so I can go fuck myself.